All right. I'm not sure if we're actually live streaming yet. We'll find out in just a second. Let me refresh this, and yes, we are. All right, let me go to it. And there we are. Let me just make sure the audio is coming through. And it is. Okay. Oh, hey, Manuel. How's it going? Says, good evening, my friend Drew. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. I am. Oh, let's start this properly. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics. This is known as Andrew speaking, and we are live streaming. It is Wednesday night. I'm going to do a little bit of drawing. I am probably not going to draw for a very long time tonight. I did something. I pulled or tweaked a nerve, most likely in my neck or my back, but it's affecting my arm. It's like radiating from my elbow down. And of course, it's my drawing hand and my drawing arm. So if it becomes too difficult to draw, I'm going to have to stop. But I haven't drawn in a few days, so I really need to. So that's why we're going to do this. Right now, you may not be able to tell this, but I have a cat who is invading my territory. She is trying so hard. I'll actually show you. She is trying so hard to get comfortable on my drawing table, which of course is at an angle, and she's just not able to get in the right position to get attention. So we're gonna she's gonna get kicked out in just a second. Actually, I have a box where she can sit on, and that'll make her happy. But yeah, she came in and invaded me and wanted to spend time with me and get attention from me. Hey, pretty girl, how you doing? You okay? Well, she's gonna leave in just a second. Manuel says, I'm doing good. I was at my doctor's appointment earlier this morning. Okay, good. Hey, Glenn, how's it going? Just random caught you here. Well, thank you for showing up. Glenn has been making some fantastic scam recordings lately. We've got a whole series of, it's either 11 or 12 recordings for another one of those Mega Millions scammers. I love the fact that he's able to waste so much of their time. It's just fantastic. But we're going to be making that into a video eventually. I got to have time to sit down and actually do it. We've been very, very busy the last couple of days. My wife and my mother-in-law are going on a cruise next week. So we've been doing a lot of preparation for that, getting, doctor's appointments, getting everybody where they need to be. And so next week, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with myself. I'll have so much freedom. I won't know what to do. But I still have, he says, up to episode 17 now. Oh my gosh. I can't believe they're still. You know what's so funny, Glenn? I know this is off topic. This is not comic related, but somebody commented that said, how do these scammers fall for this guy's fake voices? I says, you know what? They call him again and again and again, and they even ask for the fake names by name. I mean, that's how they've fallen for it, All right. Let me switch this over real quick. Come on, big girl. Hey, come on. You're going to hear her meow in a second because she's not going to be happy. Yep. Come over here. There you go. You get a box all to yourself. All right, so she's got a box all to herself. And we are going to start doing some drawing. Let me just move my keyboard out of the way. Get everything set up. And I, of course, need to find the appropriate pen. I think I've showed this to you guys before. This is the Uniball pen. This is the .7 Uniball. I love this pen. This is a great pen. I use it for a lot of stuff. But for today, for now, we're going to go ahead and get it sketching. This is the panel that we worked on last time. I'm going to switch down and start working on the bottom panel with the character Hawkeye. And just going to fill in some details as we go. And should be good. Actually, I'm going to take my glasses off so I can see better. But yep. Just going to work on him a little bit. I don't know why. I usually always start with the nose, just simply because And there's some smudging on here. I'm not sure exactly when this happened, but there's a lot of smudging on this page. And I'm not sure if I did that or somebody, if somebody walked over the page. That's always a possibility. But, that's always a possibility that some little person in this house went and stepped on the page. All right. You know what's so funny is a lot of the process at this point in the drawing is just tracing over what I had already drawn in pencil, you know, and there's really not much to it. As long as the pencils work, inking it is usually not a big deal. As long as I follow my own little guidelines, it usually ends up being okay. And I just got to remember that I had actually put in some extra lines that I didn't need. So we're just going to do our best to have it make sense, to make it work. I had a funny thing happen recently. My aunt, my mother's sister, recently is in the process of selling her house and moving out, and she's moving into a smaller place, and she gave me back some original art that I had given her over the years as either like Christmas presents or birthday presents or whatnot. And I mean, to be honest with you, I understand if you don't have room for stuff like that, you don't want to throw it out, or you don't want to give it away to Salvation Army or something like that, which is something that was brought up. You know, people, give away old original art that they have, or art that they have. Sometimes maybe they don't know what it is, And I've heard stories of people, um, giving like family art away at and people picking it up at like the Salvation Army and whatnot. I mean, that happens. But she gave me back a couple of the pieces, and I was kind of happy about that. I'm like, okay with that. There was a panel, an original panel from Hero, that she gave me back. And it's so funny, my wife's aunt was over visiting, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love that. And I said, well, here, let me give it to you. I said, Happy Mother's Day. It ended up working out okay, I gave it to somebody else who liked it just as much, and, that's how that goes sometimes. But you hear stories online about people who find art at like thrift stores or flea markets or Salvation Army, and sometimes they're very expensive original pieces of art. Not that my pieces of art would be very expensive, but the idea of that. Give me a second. I need to grab. I just need to grab one of the other pages, because I forgot. It's on the inside. Okay, so this is still the outside. So, okay. Sometimes I have to remember how I have his costume designed. I'll be honest with you, I can kind of fake some stuff with him. I could actually kind of fake stuff with a lot of my characters. They don't. Nobody's going to sit there and knock on you for not getting the costume exactly correct. You know. And I've always said that with my original characters, I can't ever draw them wrong because they're my characters. However I draw them is how they were meant to be drawn. You know? That's one way of thinking about it. All right. Now his gloves are actually solid black, so I'll fill the blacks in later. All right. What's so funny is some of this, because of the page size that I've got going on here, some of this, like some of the stuff down here at the bottom, will probably get cropped when it gets put onto the template that I've created. So, you're not going to, if I make a mistake, it's not a big deal. All right, let me get out my Sharpie to do some outline. It's one of the advantages to creating your own characters and working on your own books is everything you do is exactly the way you intended it. Right? Sure. You can use that as an excuse. You can't make a mistake because that's how you intended it. The idea is kind of like if you draw somebody a picture of Superman, they could look at it and say, that doesn't look anything like Superman. But you can't look at a picture that I draw of Hero and say, that doesn't look like Hero. Well, of course it does. He's my character. He looks exactly the way I intended. All right. So what I'm doing in here is just filling in some blacks, and I'm just realizing that my head is probably in the way. So did anybody out there get to participate in any free comic book day events? Free comic book day was May 3rd. I went to one of my local stores who had free comic books, and I got a couple, and I'm not going to go to a comic book store doing free comic book day and not buy anything, so I actually bought a couple of new comics, ones that I wanted to read, and, support your local stores. But one of the stores here in town, he went all out. He was doing like free food and everything, so yeah, very good. All right, let's see. I'm going to use this is the 0.5 pen that I use. This is the Precision, what's the name of this one? The Rollerball Precision. This is the V5. This is the 0.5. So it's good for, more detailed, stuff. All right, so that's done. Actually, I was starting to forget. His eyebrows are filled in with black. He's got black eyebrows, black eyes, but his nose is not filled in black. Okay, so don't screw up and accidentally do that, Drew. Last thing you want to do is screw up and draw in part of a character that is not part of his design. But that's okay. Let me fill in these blacks. Ooh. I can see I had an ink spot like right here, And it didn't bother me because I knew this area was going to be filled in black. So now what I normally do, what I did with a lot of Hero Book 1 and Book 2, is each panel was done on a separate piece of art. I didn't do full pages like this, unless of course it was a splash page. So a lot of the splash pages were done in full, but most all the other panel work that I did for Heroes Book 1 and 2, and for most of Book 3, were individual panels. But for this particular story, I just wanted to do the whole thing, start to finish, on regular full-size pages. So far the process and the has been good so far. But I can already tell you I'm going to have an issue. Okay, so you see how if this line right here was the panel break, and his head is breaking the panel. I do that with a lot of my art, a lot of my hero art, but it's going to be difficult for his head to break the panel because, of course, there's a channel in between the two panels. So I'm going to have to digitally correct that when I lay them out because this panel will go inside one of the already predetermined panels. This background will go inside, and then his head will have to go on top. So it just means a little bit of digital muckery, messing around, and that's okay. That's okay. We're allowed to do that. That's one of the advantages of, being working on a creator-owned independent book is you can muck around with stuff all you want. All right. And I'm gonna fill in the. Am I gonna do this with? I was just checking to see if I used the quill pen on this, and I don't think I did. I think I just filled it in just with pen, which is fine. Give a little texture to his bow. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be exactly the same. So there we go. All right, let me get this pen. I often use the fine point Sharpies as a way to just do a darken outline around stuff. You'll see me switching pens from time to time. This is just a fine point Sharpie used for outlines. I don't know why I do it. I just do it. I've always done it like this. Gives it that more, separates the art. Now, of course, I don't know where my eraser is at, so I'll have to find that later. Of course, it's missing, but, oh well. Alright, let me just catch up on the chat real quick. Oh, okay, nothing else going on in the chat. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, I'm going to keep drawing. Let me see, where is my quill pen? Actually, if I remember last time, we learned not to do this with the page at an angle, but you know what? I am glutton for punishment, and we're just going to keep on working because you know what? That's what happens. All right. So we're going to do some of the background. We got trees in the background. We got some foliage. I love using the quill pen for stuff like background stuff, just because you can go as crazy as you want, and it always looks pretty good. For the purpose I'm doing here, I'm just doing layers of scribbling, and this will actually all work out really well when it's done. And then we're going to add some texture to the trees. This may end up being too thick of a line in some of these areas, but that's okay. What I might do is, one of the things I have not done yet is do the watercolor wash in the backgrounds for some of the foliage. What I'll actually do on some of these trees, where the lines are thick and thin, and there's no single shadow point, is I'll actually use the wash to add some more additional shading in here. So in the end, it'll all work out. And what I can also do, which I've done in the past, is go back in through here with the whiteout pen, or even the white gel pen, and use that to add contrast to the. So if you see, like, you got a lot of black area over here, I can add some additional lines and make it look like more like leaves and foliage and so forth. So sometimes you just have to screw with it, just muck it up a little bit and have fun doing it, You guys know me, I always have fun in everything I do, or at least try to. All right. I'm going to add some additional layers of foliage in the background here. So it doesn't have to all be black. There we go. And then a lot of this area back here in the back will be the watercolor wash, which will actually make it'll make everything stand out even better. So we're just gonna add a few more layers in here in the front. Now, like I said, normally what I would do is the backgrounds would be on a completely separate layer, and but for this one, I'm just doing it all on one page, making it easier. And you may ask yourself, why did you do it differently this time than you did all the other? Well, because I wanted to. Sometimes you just want to do something different. Fill in some spots here. And you'll notice that I tend to keep the characters very simple, black and white. I don't like to fill in a lot of stuff on top of them, so that they stand out when it comes to the page. And this is the part where he's reaching the edge of the forest, and he doesn't quite yet realize it. This is going to end up being a long drop off a short pier, so to say. Next thing he knows, he's going to be like at the very end, and he's going to go, oh no! But he's literally running right towards it, so. And of course, he's messing with the wolves, he's making fun of them, he's laughing at them. He's like, see you later, suckers, type of thing. and he's not paying attention to what's coming next. And that's okay. I'm going to fill in some blacks in here. And let's actually add some. Let's move up here while that part dries. Add some more trees into the background behind the. Add some trees and texture behind the wolves. I mean, they're in a rather highly dense forest. Well, I should say they're getting ready to come out of a highly dense forest. You know, I think it's kind of funny is this forest is kind of the wolves' hunting ground. So they probably knew he was heading straight for a cliff or the edge of the forest. All right. Oh, look at that. Spilled a little drop right there on the page. That's okay. It's not right smack dab in the middle of one of the characters, so that should be okay. I can probably live with that. I can easily remove it. All right. The India ink that I'm using here with this pen is very unforgiving. You know, you lay it down, and once it's down, you're committed. So there's not a lot of give and take in it, and I try not to use it for a lot of stuff other than backgrounds. But I definitely don't think I could use this to do characters. Definitely don't think I could do that. Right now, we're just filling in some areas. Oh, I double dribbled. Okay, right, I gotta stop. When you start messing up the paper, you gotta stop. But that's okay. We will take a napkin or a paper towel, and we will dab the ink so as not to let it spread further. Now what's so funny, these two areas in the background, this was supposed to be all like grayscale wash, so I may actually work that into the image at some point. Let me check and see if this is dry. Yeah, this is dry. Alright. Sometimes the ink clumps, like right here, and then when I clump it up, it just makes it gray, which actually is okay. That'll work. But there we go. All right, so needless to say, further moving. Oh, Richard say, hey Richard, how's it going? Richard says, good evening, Drew. How are you working? How are you doing, my friend? I pray everything is good with you. Actually, we're doing really, really good, Richard. I appreciate it. He says, good evening, Emmanuel. How are you? Richard says, I'm really liking the layout, Drew. Well, thank you, sir. Glenn says, how do you make it look like drawing is so easy? Oh, goodness gracious. Just doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again until you get it right. Emmanuel says, hey to Richard. Good evening. Yes, you make it very easy drawing. Richard says he's talented, Glenn. Well, that's okay, Drew. The blob on the bottom blob would call a happy accident. Yes. Well, these two pieces right here will probably blend into the background just fine. This one right here, I could actually white it out and remove it. But to be honest with you, the way the panel border actually is, this part would probably be outside of the border anyway, because what I do is in Photoshop, I have a template already designed where it's either one big panel, or it's three separate panels. And so when I scan these images in, I will cut them and paste into the borders so that I keep a nice crystal clear border. And when I cut this panel and put it in, this part right here may not even be out. It may not even be inside the border. So it's okay. It'll work out. It's ways of making the page look pretty, even though the original page may not look pretty. So, all right, my arm is really starting to bug me for a little bit, so I'm gonna take a break. What time is it? Oh, well, I went a half hour. I think I'm gonna stop drawing for a moment. Maybe take a break on this. I'm going to have to continue later this week. I probably won't live stream it. I'll just make a video of it as I do it. I got to keep on working on these pages because 1 hour a week is not enough. I need more time. But I'm going to probably go ahead and stop the live stream now. Not that I don't love chit-chatting with you wonderful gentlemen, but like I said, I may have pinched something in my arm. My wife thinks I pinched a nerve, and it's really starting to irritate me. And oh, goodness gracious, am I getting a scam call right now? I am getting a scam call. Hello? Hello? Oh, I guess not. All right, they didn't want to talk. This is really weird. Usually by 8 o'clock, my scam calls are done. But I've gotten one as late as 8:30 the other night. There was nobody there, but oh well. All right, well guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's always good to have somebody just listening, knowing that there's somebody out there listening, even if I'm just talking to myself. But Manuel, Richard, Glenn, thank you guys for joining. I am going to wrap up now. My arm's just really starting to bother me, and I probably need to put some ice on it. But more drawing soon, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. All right, guys, I'll talk at y'all later. Manuel, I'll see you guys Friday on Roger's stream, and then, of course, on my stream on the Scam channel